Edge at 11 starts now.
Tonight on The Edge, troubling testimony against a former high school basketball coach.
He's accused of sexually assaulting multiple students, and today we heard from the alleged victims. Fox News' Jessica Dupnack joining us live with more from what happened in court today. Jessica.
Well, we did learn that those alleged sexual assaults happened at former coach Jeremy Tompkins' Detroit home over the summer during what these kids called sleepovers. Some of them were spending up to 5 nights at his home. Definitely begs the question, where were the parents? Well, it came out in court today, at least according to one of those teens' testimony, that Tompkins was also manipulating the parents into trusting him to get access to their kids.
Did something occur on that day that brings you to court today?
Yes.
What was that?
Coach J attempted to suck my
Allegedly at a sleepover with his former Farmington high school basketball coach last October when the victim was 16. He testified a massage at 43-year-old Jeremy Tompkins' Detroit home turned into an attack.
Is it fair to say that he was working his way up your leg?
Yes.
When he got up your leg, what happened next?
He started getting close to like my if that makes sense.
When you said that he started getting close to that, did he touch you?
Yes.
The victim says then Tompkins straddled him as he tried to fight him off.
He had got really close to my neck, kind of like to where his lips was touching my neck and breathing hard.
Eventually, he says Tompkins stopped and the child went home and told his mom. It was reported to Detroit police. A subsequent investigation was done at Farmington High School, revealing that 3 other basketball coaches knew about the alleged incidents with the teens but did nothing. They've all been fired. A teammate also took the stand Monday. He too has spent as many as 5 nights a week sleeping over at Tompkins' house last summer to work out and watch movies. Tompkins promising mentorship. This alleged victim says Tompkins bragged about being able to convince parents to trust him.
He was about to basically manipulate my mom into letting me spend the night at his house by saying all the right things.
After the testimony, Judge Kenneth King upped Tompkins' bond from a personal bond and house arrest to $100,000, 10%, and then said this.
He's been in contact with a lot of kids, and if these facts are true, then it's likely, and I don't know this for certain, but it's likely that there are others out there.
That is the concern with these stories. Now, taking you back to 2008 when Tompkins was a coach at Henry Ford High School in Detroit. At that time, a 17-year-old player came forward with strikingly similar stories to these kids. It did lead to charges and a subsequent bench trial. The judge, however, did toss the case for lack of evidence, couldn't quite meet the burden for that CSC charge, but he did add that he believed the victim's testimony. Now, Detroit police are continuing to investigate this situation as he's been a coach for 15+ years, and we are too. Investigators with DPD are urging any more victims to come forward. Reporting live, Jessica Dupnack on The Edge.
All of it is so disturbing, Jessica, and especially that previous case that you just mentioned, and wondering what would have happened if that was able to move forward. But wondering, though, with these other victims, and this has been going on for a while, but the one that came forward first to police, we know what finally forced him to tell his story and to be able to hopefully make this person be held accountable.
Well, yeah, I mean, you heard it there in the testimony. He went home right away, told his mom, and there was some conversations about digital evidence, and that could be key because this case was, in fact, bound over to circuit court. We didn't get a look at those text messages, but definitely some conversations that really could be damning in this situation.
All right, so maybe some concrete evidence in that, hopefully. Thank you so much, though, Jessica, for that update. We know you are following this closely.
Also tonight on The Edge, a horrendously cruel attack on a puppy burned with acid. And a warning tonight, some people may find these images very disturbing.
And thankfully, stem cell technology has helped save this poor animal's life. Fox News' Dave Kinchin gives us a look.
Just look at that face and those eyes. Amira is a total sweetheart and the best comeback story you'll hear all week.
So the fact that she has any zest or will to live after dealing with that incredible amount of pain It's incredible.
Dr. Lucretia Greer's team at the Woodhaven Animal Hospital made that recovery possible after first learning of this precious pup's severe and heartbreaking injuries. They were alerted by the Michigan Anti-Cruelty Society this past August.
The shelter manager came over and said, hey, we have a dog that was potentially burned. Do you guys want to look at it? What can we do?
Dr. Eric Mann says Amira was horribly burned by acid.
She was in a crate. She had an accident in the crate, and the person who was watching her put something in the crate.
Amira would need hyperbaric treatment and major skin grafts. Part of her nose, ear, and even her tail were gone. And that's not even half the trauma.
Her limbs, her underbelly, her sides, she had just only muscle exposed. Bones, tendons, like ligaments, all those structures, if they weren't completely disintegrated, they were exposed. So she had surgery this past Tuesday with the leg amputation. She did have osteomyelitis, which is a bone infection. We tried very hard to save the leg. But it was causing her a great deal of pain.
While she got treated, the community wondered how someone could do something so unthinkable.
How do you let someone walk around knowing they've done this to an animal? I mean, this dog has suffered so much. So much.
Woodhaven Mayor Patricia Odette rushed in to help as leader of the Animal Resource Funding Foundation, which covered some of Amira's medical expenses. The total bill is north of $17 grand. She also made sure Amira ended up in great hands.
She does live in a very loving home with other animals, and she's great with other dogs. She lives with cats. She's doing awesome in that home.
The mayor also says the system is broken, with Amira's abuser still out there.
You know, I sound like a broken record, but we need to change the laws in the state of Michigan. People all over the internet on Amira are crying for justice. They're crying for prosecution.
Authorities are still investigating the abuse. Meantime, as we said, the medical bills are over $17,000. If you'd like to help out, we'll have information on our website in this story. That's on fox2detroit.com. Dave Kinchin on The Edge.
And in Farmington Hills, a police chase ends there with the driver throwing a puppy in a dumpster.
A concerned resident saw them throwing something in there, and officers went back to check it out. Thankfully, the puppy is okay. That reckless driving suspect now behind bars. The driver, 25-year-old Selena Martin, arrested after driving on a suspended license, refusing to stop for police, and then crashing and fleeing her wrecked vehicle.
It was very surprising to the officer to get there and find out that that was a little puppy filled with sharp, jagged materials, construction materials, and this beautiful little puppy was in there. Our officer rescued it.
The puppy has since been adopted. Martin has been previously convicted of fleeing and eluding police on 2 other occasions.
Tonight, a teenager is recovering after being shot on Detroit's east side. It happened this afternoon on Peyton Street near Meringue. Police say a 15-year-old boy was shot in the leg by an unknown male suspect, but he's going to be okay. We're working to get more information, and certainly we'll bring you more if we get it.
Well, new details tonight about a man accused in 2 separate stabbings over the weekend. A woman has come forward claiming she encountered the suspect while walking her dog on Sunday morning. The woman says the suspect started following her, so she went home. About an hour later, police say the suspect stabbed the man at Dexter near Joy, critically hurting him. A second man was stabbed just soon after that at Grand River and Clarendon Street. He's in serious condition. Police later caught the suspect, and tonight he's in jail.
The Armada man accused of throwing an officer down a staircase has made his first court appearance. There he is, Christopher Lynch. He was being served a mental health petition at his home last Wednesday. That's when prosecutors say he assaulted 2 officers, pushing one of them over a 2nd-story banister. Lynch's bond is set at $100,000, and he must also undergo mental health evaluation. A major development tonight in the case against the parents of the Oxford school shooter.
A judge has agreed to give them separate trials. James and Jennifer Crumbly are each charged with 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter. Attorneys for James Crumbly filed a motion today for a separate trial from his wife. The couple had previously gone into the county's prosecution together. The 2 will now proceed separately, with their son's sentencing less than a month away and their own trial date set for 2024. In the meantime, parents are calling for members of the Oxford School Board to resign in the wake of the tragedy.
Yes, the group Oxford Community Catalysts are also demanding other school officials be held accountable for the 2021 shooting. It comes just 2 weeks after the results of an independent review of the shooting were released, saying that the district failed to provide a safe environment for students and that the tragedy might have been avoided if proper threat assessment guidelines had been in place.
We shouldn't be scared to send our children to school where they're supposed to be learning and making the world a better place for their kids in the future. We should be proud of our kids and be, proud of our district.
The group says it's also hoping to encourage new candidates to run for the board next year. Well, our dry stretch in the weather department seems to be continuing, and hopefully that big fireball in the sky will come back out to join us.
And, seeing the sun today, it really cheered us all up. A nice way to kick off the work week. What about temperatures and how's it looking as we head towards the rest of the week? Let's get to Rich for that. Hey, Rich.
Hey there, Roop and Taryn. Yeah, we had a pretty good weekend. We had plenty of sunshine today, even with that breeze. Notice clear skies for our part of the state. More clouds up around Mackinac Bridge and for Sault Ste. Marie. But we'll take the clear skies. It does mean temperatures will continue to slide for the rest of tonight. How about these daytime highs? 61 for us, 63 in Chicago, even up around Saginaw, close to 60 degrees. Pretty mild for the middle part of November. 61 and 36, the numbers at the airport. Here are the averages. This is where we should be. How about the record? 70 on the high side, 7 on the low side. Nothing like that out there tonight. A lot of us are between 35 and 40 degrees. Numbers will continue to slide, but the breeze has come way down since this afternoon. But still, it's chilly out there. Green Bay 36, Pellston 40 degrees. We're at 43. Look at Fort Wayne 35. But as high pressure passes to our south tomorrow and Wednesday, more mild air keeps coming our way. We have more chances for 60 degrees Wednesday and especially Thursday. You'll see it coming up in the 7-day forecast. For the rest of tonight, clear skies, cool and dry. On average, we'll get down to 33. Tomorrow, back to 52, so not as warm, but less wind. We'll call it a pleasant afternoon tomorrow. And then check out that 7-day forecast. 57 Wednesday. There's 60 degrees again Thursday. Our next cold front comes through Friday with a couple of showers, and it will be cooler for the weekend, but nothing crazy, Taryn. A full check coming up at 4 a.m.
Well, thank you so much, Rich.